In this video, we'll be learning to solve quadratic equations by factoring. And our goal is to pretty much change trinomials to binomials. A trinomial is the sum of two binomials, and an example would be x squared minus 6x minus 6. A binomial is the sum of monomials, such as x plus 12 or x minus 3. Since we're being asked to find the zeros of x squared minus 10x plus 24, we need to find two numbers that add to negative 10 and multiply to positive 24. If you know those two numbers off of the top of your head, you can always go ahead and try them. But if you aren't really sure, you can try factors of 24. So in this case, negative 4 and negative 6 add to negative 10 and also multiply to positive 24. To find our zeros, we use the two numbers that we just found to make two binomials. We were able to factor x squared minus 10x plus 24 into x minus 4 times x minus 6. But to find our actual zeros, we have to set both binomials to 0 and solve using ZPP or zero product property. Since there are two solutions to every quadratic equation, we get two zeros, x equals 4 and x equals 6. Since we spent all that time getting those zeros, we want to actually make sure that the zeros that we got are correct. So we do that by multiplying the two binomials that we got previously, and we see if multiplying those binomials gives us our first quadratic equation. And when we multiply x minus 4 and x minus 6, we get our original quadratic equation, x squared minus 10x plus 24. So we know that our zeros are obviously real zeros. To find the zeros of x squared plus 9x plus 14, we're going to do the same thing that we did in our last problem. We're going to want to find two numbers that add to positive 9 and multiply to positive 14. On the side, we're going to write down pairs of numbers that multiply to positive 14. And when we get a pair that also adds to positive 9, we know that those are our numbers. When we do that, we realize that positive 7 and positive 2 add to positive 9 and also multiply to positive 14. We use those two numbers to create our binomials, x plus 7 and x plus 2. Then we solve using ZPP, which in this case pretty much just means getting x alone. When we do that, our first x is equal to negative 7, and our second x is equal to negative 2. In order to make sure that the zeros that we got are actually correct, we FOIL the two binomials that we got earlier and see if we get our original quadratic equation. FOIL means first, outer, inner, last, and that pretty much means to distribute. You don't have to check, but if this is your first time solving quadratic equations by factoring, you probably should. When we FOIL, we get x squared plus 9x plus 14, which is our original equation. So we know that our zeros are correct. Thanks so much for watching, and remember to like it if you learned something. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure to comment with any questions or thoughts that you have. See you soon!